What's up, everybody? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. Today, we are live streaming, and if you're watching this as a VOD, we're still going to be doing r/NuclearRevenge. It's going to be a new subreddit I have not tapped into yet. I'm really excited about this one. You guys voted for this one, and yeah, it seems like a wacky subreddit from this whatever much I have skimmed. It is essentially, and it's described as NuclearRevenge is a place for all forms of extreme revenge. So we're talking top of the line, the cream of the crop of the revenge. Please read that about r/NuclearRevenge post and the rules found in the sidebar. Oh, yeah. So we are going to be reading the craziest stories in regards of revenge today. So I'm excited for that. I'm also excited to see everybody. Oh, hey, we got everybody booming in chat now. Good to see you, Takeo Mao. Oh, and we have a leaderboard, so it shows you guys are in the #1, and Ian is one of the #1 fans as well. And hey, Paper Swan, hi, Ian. So glad that you got to be able to catch a live stream, Ian. That's so awesome. Let me set up the goals for today's super chat, or today's YouTube. We're gonna be probably rolling for about 2 hours. So with let me set everything up. Alrighty. And we are booming. All right, let's read today's r/NuclearRevenge. I have the best post because we haven't been on the subreddit yet. So we're just going to see what is the best of the best. First one up today. Oh, what's going on? There we go. I was like, what? Oh, let me X this out of that. All right. My longtime boss betrayed me and screwed me over money he owed me. So I made sure he lost something worth 30 times more than he dreamed about his whole life. What? This is juicy. Okay, I'm excited for this one. Let me refresh everything. Okay. TLDR, my longtime boss of 7 years screwed me over a year's worth of travel expenses and nearly 6 months of subsidized sick leave payments from the state. Left me hanging when I needed him most, and so I turned in the dirt I had on him to the authorities. He had to pay 30 times the sum he owed me as a fine, which meant he had to sell his dream home and take his family back to his crowded apartment where he will now probably rot for the rest of his treacherous life. This is crazy. Hey, Control Z, I'm glad that you got here early. Also, Rabbit, good to see you again. Man, we are booming, guys. I'm excited. I don't know why. Whenever these start, the chat doesn't pop up right away. Okay, there we go. Chat's now scrolling on, and we get to see that. Thank God. I am so excited for today's episode, guys. Glad to see everyone that's in here. And it's so crazy that there's a leaderboard now on the YouTube. I wonder if Twitch has leaderboards. But yeah, also, I am going to set up a poll now before we read the rest of this story. This is my favorite subreddit. It helped me get over my last relationship that ended with me finding out that they cheated the entire 5 years we were together, coming on a year since we broke up. Holy crap, Jamie, that's crazy. I'm glad you guys ended things because you deserve better than that. That's insane. Hello, everybody. God, everybody's rolling in the stream. I love this. I'm going to set up the polls real quick, and then we're going to get right into the subreddit. We are going to, or actually, I'll do that later. Let's read this one first, and then I'll set up a poll for tomorrow's stream, because we are going to be streaming tomorrow as well. But tomorrow is going to be late. All right, here we go. So that was the TLDR, and let's get into this one. This seems pretty intense. Hey, Chan. I won't text much, but I'll definitely watch. Hey, thank you, Chan. I appreciate you for even tuning in. God, everyone is in. This is awesome. All right, here we go. Everyone saddle up, because this is going to be a long one. Where to begin? I suppose I should get back to when this whole sleigh ride began. I said sly. I'm an educated computer tech that has had the misfortune of graduating right on the cusp of the 2008 financial crisis. Before, it was considered to be the vocation of the future. Various businesses came to our school, introducing themselves, offering scholarships for college if we signed an agreement to work with them after we graduated, that as well. After the crash, those promises were the first things they cut. Oh man, that's tough. I know what they're talking about. Like, I remember being in school and then they would have like scholarships for promising of this kind of stuff. But I didn't go to school during that time. So 2008, that must have been a tough time to experience. Hi Jamie, good to see you in chat. Hey Epic Shade Master, good to see everybody's in here. All right, so as a result of that, I couldn't afford college. Oh, Gia Carter, thank you so much for following on Twitch. We are almost at 50 followers on Twitch, guys. That means I can almost get monetized on Twitch, which is insane. So thank you for following. We're also almost at 12,000 subscribers on YouTube too. So we're booming, guys. All right, sorry, let me lock in again. As a result of that, I couldn't afford college, which meant I had to find work. Which was easier said than done. My late and mid 20s were a roller coaster of dead-end jobs where I worked, finally saved up some money, got fired as a redundancy, and had to spend those savings for living expenses while looking for my next shitty job. Years went by, tech went on, and I couldn't afford classes to keep up with it. That's crazy because tech, usually you would get paid a lot for doing tech. So interesting. I couldn't afford classes to keep up with it. So in my 20s, I snapped. I had enough. I needed a career change. I decided to go in my late father's footsteps and became a welder. Wow, welding makes more. Interesting. It's as if fate intertwined. A week before I made this inquiry about changing careers, a state-sponsored program came out that let me become one for free. Wow. After completing the welding courses, I was quickly offered a job as a field welder. We're literally talking about a matter of days here. A refreshing change of pace from before when it took me months or more to get a job. This is where the subject of our story comes in. I'll call him Rat Boss, or RB for short. Rat Boss, I love that. God, I hate that there's still like ads and bots on Kick. Let me catch up with chat real quick, and then we're gonna really lock in on this story. Yeah, those are leaderboards. Apparently, you can add leaderboards. So now we have top fans. That's pretty cool. Dude, Chan, I hope I hit 20,000 subscribers. Like, that is such a big goal of mine. You guys don't even understand. Like, that would be such a big move. Like, wow. Yeah, 20,000 is a dream. Also, I'm currently tuning in while eating some Chinese foods. Hey, what kind of Chinese food did you get? My favorite order on Chinese is crab ragoons. That's my right there. But yeah, 20,000 subscribers and then hopefully 100 followers on Twitch. That's kind of a dream of mine. As of right now, we'll see. But we're almost at 50, so we're rolling. But yeah, all right. So for the remainder of this next bit, I'm going to lock in on the story, and then I'll go back with chat and I'll tune in. But you guys are welcome to, chat with each other and so forth. And Gia, I'm going to be honest with you. I am in the middle of streaming. Please do not promote while I'm in the middle of streaming, buddy. Currently honey chicken and some crab sushi and lo mein. What a banger. Lo mein is such a classic. All right, let's get into this. All right, so let's read this crazy story about Rat Boss. So just to refresh everyone at this point, we have OP here who just got a job in the welding field, completely switched over from tech, okay? Let's get in. So Rat Boss ran a small field welding business with half a dozen man crew, traveling all over Europe during field welding. He said he's taking me in, show me the ropes, teach me real welding, none of that schoolyard horseshit. Okay, interesting. And let me tell you, the first 6 years was amazing. Yes, they were hard work, dawn to dusk, 7 days a week. Wow, that's a lot of fucking welding, bro. What? For 6 years? Sometimes gone from home for over a month. But the travels, the adventures, and the camaraderie were... We were complete strangers to each other in the start, but we became like brothers, sticking together through thick and thin. Thinking back on it, I miss those days, even if they are behind me. Wow, that's amazing. Oh, hi, Pixel. And RB was back at the time the kind of boss, or the rat boss, the kind of boss that puts all other bosses to shame. I remember that one time where he took out a loan with a large interest just so he could pay us our wages because he had an emergency expense that drained his bank account 2 weeks before a customer's was due payment. He rather went into debt to pay us on time rather than ask us if we could hang in there a couple weeks. Okay, so up to this point, the boss sounds like a great boss. So I'm curious as to where it's going to switch over. This will be interesting. Hi, Jamie. Good to see everybody in chat. But everything changed by year 7. Okay, so 7 was the year that it all changed, okay? At that time, most of the core crew had left, missing their families too much to keep doing this. So did Rat Boss. He set me up as a foreman while he found himself working back home. And he sent people he interviewed over my way as I needed them. It didn't start off so bad at first. Several jobs done successfully, but the people that worked with me, it just wasn't the same. I get that. Whenever you switch a new team, it's just different, you know? They were all short-term workers. They were there for a quick buck, settle some debts, or gain some experience to find better paid work back home. But then the pandemic struck, and I had to sit it out. It wasn't a big deal for me since I was used to having cash reserves for rainy days from my teen years. But what came after is where things started to get seriously wrong. Oh God, here we go. Let's get ready to see what happens. Nobody decent wanted to work abroad anymore. So the people that came to work with me were those that Rat Boss might have proverbially fished out of the sewers. Drunkards, thieves, drug addicts, destitutes. Wow, these are the kind of people that was working with you? The kinds with nothing to lose and no one would do a good job. It all went downhill rather quickly. As the foreman, I made sure the job got done regardless and that the work was signed off so that the bill would get sent and paid, wages were paid. But there were constant incidents outside of work, incidents unique to the demographic that worked with me. To top it all off, wages started coming late. Travel costs weren't being refunded, and Rat Boss started doing some creative accounting when it came to the differences between everyone's net and gross wages. So he started manipulating payments. It all came to a boiling point when I received a phone call at 3 a.m. on the night I was supposed to drive the boys back home in the morning. The customer called. One of the boys had been arrested for drunken disorder. Oh, God. He didn't have an ID on him, only the workplace identification card. So they phoned our customer in the middle of the night to help identify the foreman of that animal. So yeah, I got called to pick him up. I ate a lot of that day. That's crazy. When I came back home, I had a good long sit down with Rat Boss. Told him I was done with this BS and that it was time for him to settle his accounts. He sort of half-heartedly apologized. He admitted he was wrong, had problems with his wife, which co-ran the business, and was fighting with him over how the money was spent. At this point, he owed me around a year's worth of travel expense. That's a lot of money. And if he had taken into the account that I traveled at least 2,000 miles monthly, that is a substantial amount of money. He apologetically asked me to wait a bit on that money because his wife is C-blocking him on any major expenditures. He also asked me to stay on with him for just a few months on minimum wage just so he can put together a decent crew. Oh, God, he's asking a lot. The idiot that I was accepted this proposal. There was no reason not to trust him after all. We've known each other for almost 7 years at the time. I didn't think it was unreasonable to give him this time to fix the things. But I did have this one condition, though. I needed half of the money he owed me by the end of September because I'm having some work done on my house. He said that shouldn't be a problem this far in advance. I said, okay, we have a deal, but I remained suspicious. A couple months went by. I worked for a rat boss locally for minimum wage, except the problem that was that even that minimum wage came in late. My hackles were raised. I was concerned that I would have to postpone my work on my house, work for which craftsmen are so hard to come by. You have to pay a deposit to prove that you were serious on what you needed to be done. In the beginning of September on that month, his partial debt repayment was due. I confronted him again. He assured me that paying half of what he owed me for travel costs wouldn't be a problem and that he'd have the cash ready. Sure, we'll see. As we parted ways, I went home. He gave me the fakest smile I had ever seen in my life. I stared him down. I gave him this kind of look that even a dumbass would recognize as "I'm not fooling around anymore" written all over it. Rat Boss lost that fake smile that he had almost immediately. I said goodbye, got into my car, and drove home. That weekend, RB sent me a weighted message about how he's got a crew lined up and he's going abroad to talk with a potential customer to get his foot back into the field work door. Oh, here we go. Woo! Alarm bells started ringing. He's going to avoid me for the date he was due half of his debt. He's going to screw me over. He was going to screw me over, that bastard, after everything we've been through together. At this point, I decided if the money doesn't come in the due date, a 30-day resignation notice is going to wait for him when he gets back, filed on the exact day he was supposed to pay me. But the thing is, when something has you riled up, such as RB's probable betrayal, you kind of have this hard time focusing at work. So I slipped on a ramp. Oof. I didn't just sprain my ankle or tore a ligament. I downright destroyed it. Okay. About a week before his debt payment was due, we're talking about emergency surgery here. 2 weeks minimum at the hospital and being unable to put proper weight on that foot for 6 months. What do you guys think happened to the money he promised to pay me? It didn't come. Big surprise. Not only that, even the wage didn't get wired that month. Oh, dude, did he go AWOL on you? No. It gets even worse. While I was at the hospital, heavily medicated, the work got done on my house. My mother, who had authorization to my accounts in case of emergencies, used my savings to pay for the house work on the house instead of canceling, which means I had very little money left. She told me not to worry. I would still get paid sick leave. I wasn't so sure. The thing about sick leave in my country is, in case of a work-related injury and a recovery period longer than a month, the employer is required to pay the first month of sick leave, and the rest is funded by the government. Whereas my employer only pays for Social Security and taxes, and the government wires the sick leave money to him and then forward it to me, so that your boss would get the money from the government. Oh no! Which of course didn't happen. Didn't receive a single cent from him since. So here I was, broken, crippled, bedridden, and unable to work. It gets worse. I ran out of money just as I had the last installment of an outstanding debt to pay. Banks were calling me weekly. I had to cash in an investment to pay it off while it subsided or subsisted while I recovered. On an investment that would have yielded me a modest amount of passive income for the rest of my life. Dang, that sucks. So I was resigned for revenge. Oh God. All right, here we go. We get into the juiciness of the revenge. Also, chat, don't worry, I'll read everything in a second. I'm deep in this combo now, or this story. He lied to me, hid from me, failed to pay what was owed, stole from me, and pocketed that money that was meant for me from the government. He will cook in the fires of hell for what he's done. Here's the revenge. The revenge. Before I tell you what I did to him, I wish a little background on Rat Boss. He lived in a small apartment in the capital city. in our capital city, along with his wife and 2 children. The apartment was extremely small, so small, in fact, that it was practically climb over on top of each other to pass each other by. They all practically climbed over on top of each other. But he did have this dream. He bought a plot of land where he was building a large house, so big in fact that a single one of the rooms is going to be bigger than his whole previous apartment. Over the course of the 7 years, he slowly built it up brick by brick, and he was almost done. When we still talked, he told me that it was almost 6 months away from moving in. Oh man, here we go. The thing about me being his foreman is that it involves a lot of paperwork. Every decision, every purchase, every dirty little hidden secret away in the numbers. And I had it all. It was simply a matter of forwarding it all to the appropriate authorities. And as soon as I was able to walk well, I wouldn't really say walk, more like dragged my recovering foot behind the other one while under the influence of hardcore painkillers. I went out to turn him into every government agency that had a shot to get him in, or at getting to him. The biggest hit came at the labor inspectorate. As the caseworker rummaged through the evidence I presented her, she mumbled to herself, wide open, something along the lines of, "My God, he broke half of the labor laws in our country." The aftermath. I live in what would be considered a second world country. Our government is slow and inefficient, but it does act when prompted. And when it did act on Rat Boss, his fall was like being hit in the face by the same meteor that killed the dinosaurs. His accounts were frozen. He was barred from traveling abroad. His business licenses were suspended, and he was required to dismiss all the current employees and severance, money which he didn't have. He filed for bankruptcy soon after. He was required to sell the house he dreamed about for his entire life to settle all the fines. He is stuck now, like I was, even worse. He is trapped in the sardine can of his for an apartment, unable to work, unable to support his family, unable to pay the bills until the legal proceedings from the government finish. For what he did to me, I was able to stay afloat, but for what he did to me, but for what I did to him, he is done, broken, reduced to utter destitution. He called me when the government, he called me when the government's gavel hit his face. I will spare you the exact dialogue that took place because this post is too long enough already. But to sum it up, he yelled over the phone saying, how could I do this to him? And yelled curse words to me. How could you do all that to OP? What the hell do you mean? This is oh no consequences to a T. In return, I called him out for lying to me about money after 7 years, leaving me to rot in the hospital penniless. And I called him out for being a rat and that betrayed his friend. And to never call me again, as we are now in a legal dispute, and he should forward all communications through the case office of the labor inspectorate, and hung up. I made a claim on his bankruptcy proceedings. By the time he paid all the fines, all I was able to claim from him was a single month's work of sick leave. No travel costs, no nothing. Damn, that sucks. But it's okay. I can live on that, as long as he gets 10 times over the grievances he inflicted on me. That is some real revenge right there. No eye for an eye, no tooth for a tooth. This is face for an eye, the whole head for a tooth. I stand both literally and figuratively, but Rat Boss is deep in the dirt. That is when he used to dream about his big house. Now dreams about how he will someday maybe, just maybe, be able to crawl all the way up to from rock bottom to start all over again. And the addendum, if you've read this far, thank you. I found it unusual, easy to spill out, a significant part of my life story to complete strangers, which took me all afternoon to put down into writing. Maybe because the story ended 2 years ago and my anger has resentment has long since subsided. I do not claim any moral high ground here, and if you call my story a cache of two villains where I emerged on top, that's okay. As long as you acknowledge that the proverbial gutter is full of men that walked away as they said they were the better man. Wow. That's crazy. What a story, dude. Man, OP really went balls to the wall, and I respect it. Hey, I'm a petty AF too sometimes, and they did him dirty, dude. To be in prison and you're like friends with them because you worked together for 6 years. That's pretty freaking dirty. All right, I'm gonna catch up on chat now. I don't know if Twitch. Let me actually look at Twitch chat too. Okay, no Twitch chat. Cool. God, there's a gnat in this room and it is bothering me. All right, anyways, what have you guys been talking about lately? You guys have been saying the purple things are leaderboards. I got a pizza ad. Oh, hey, 20, dude, if we hit 20K, that would be awesome. I got a lot of blue collar jobs, pay way more than ones that require degrees. Yeah, totally. You know, that's the crazy thing. Degrees like don't really mean success anymore. Wish I would have known this before. Same. I got a degree and I don't even use my degree. Hi, Pixel. Good to see you in chat. Hi, Pawnee. Hey, everybody. Dang, everybody's in here. These are the worst effing. Yeah, dude. These are the worst type of bosses. It just rained where you're at, Control Z. That's crazy. Oh, it's kind of nice to have like rain in the background too, Rabid. Similar weather. You guys are talking about weather. Wow, it is hot where you're at then, huh? Whoa, that's 40? That's insane. Wow, but yeah, dude, what a freaking story. Yeah, where I live, guys, is pretty good spot for in terms of like whatchamacallit, weather. North Carolina. I got really lucky. Like, it's not too cold, it's not too hot. I'm gonna start a poll now before we read the next story though, of where you guys want to see streaming next. So tomorrow we'll be streaming, but we'll be streaming pretty late. I'm thinking we will be streaming. Oh, actually, I might not be able to stream tomorrow. I have friends in town. I forgot about that. Never mind. I will. It's finicky. I think the next stream will likely actually be after the holiday. If the 4th of July is this Friday, probably Saturday night. I'm gonna put Saturday or Sunday. All right. I will try to upload videos tomorrow and the day after. I'm not 100%, but there might not be an upload tomorrow. We'll see. But for sure, we're going to stream either Saturday or Sunday, at least one of those days. We're going to stream at least one more time for the rest of this week. Stream topic. What do you guys want to see on stream for the next stream before we read this next story? Anybody in chat, let me know what you guys would like to see in the next stream. I'm open to games, scary games, Subnautica, different Reddits like NuclearRevenge. And while we do that, I'm going to queue up the next Reddit story. Dude, 50 is crazy. Whose temperature is 50? 50? That's fucking crazy. That's like Vietnam weather almost. Hey, actually, let me get a sense of, oh, no, that's even hotter than Vietnam. What the hell? Vietnam is usually at like 40s. That's crazy. In Iran? Whoa, that's nuts. Phasmophobia? What's that? Oh, yeah, you guys talked about this before in chat. Okay. I'm not opposed to something like this. No way. Vietnam is way hotter than Orlando. Like, night and day. Vietnam is like, well, it depends on what part of Vietnam we're talking. Northern Vietnam, Orlando's hotter. But Southern Vietnam, if you're talking like anywhere Saigon and south of Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City, it's going to be hotter. And where I'm from, it's really hot. Like, I was originally born in Bac Lieu. Right now, it might not be too hot, but let's see. Weather. Right now, it's probably not too bad. But it gets, so right now, it's 27 there, but it can get up to, I would say 45, maybe even more. Yeah, it's just because it's raining right now, so they're in a cool spell, but it gets really hot there. This is actually really cold for them. I'm actually surprised. Usually they're in the 40 range, I would say. Actually, let's see their highs. Let's do highest. Yeah, that sounds about right. 44 is the highest. When I went to Vietnam and I visited my family when I was 10, because when I go to Vietnam, I don't actually go here, Bac Lieu, but when I visited my family, it was around like 38 to 40. It was tough. It was like really bad. God, that was brutal. Well, Orlando wasn't that bad. Orlando was hot, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like deathly hot. All right, so I am gonna post a poll. Let's do, what was the game that you just mentioned? Let's see, you mentioned Phasmia. All right, so I'll put that in one of the options. Phasmophobia. I think I spelled that right. Scary game. We'll put that as one of the options. And by the way, we're about to read another subreddit, so another Reddit post, so don't worry. We'll put that. We'll put Subnautica Part 3 as an option. Part 3. Somebody in chat, give me a option for a Reddit read as an option. I'm also going to put Stardew Valley because we could start a farm together. That would be fun. And what would you guys... Made me smile. That's a good one. That's a great one. All right. That's going to be the poll. That would be the poll for the next stream. I don't know for sure when we're going to stream the next one because my friends are coming to town and they're going to be staying here and I don't want to be bothering them. So I'm thinking we'll either stream... It's likely going to look for Saturday or Sunday, but we'll stream at least once by the end of the week. I guarantee you that. I am so late. You're not that late. We've been streaming for what, 30 minutes? You're good. You're still in the first half of the stream. I'm planning on streaming for almost 2 hours. Oh, Matt, let's not meet. Oh, you responded a little too late. I've already made it rolling with these options, but I will in the next stream. I'll put let's not meet if you make it to the stream. Just remind me. And oh, John, it's okay. I mean, we're forever streaming, guys. So like we'll have options to do all this stuff. And Wiley, good to see ya. We got a mod in chat. And Twitch viewers, I wanted to say hello. And then also my Kick viewers, hello as well. That's pretty cool that we have everybody rolling right now. All right, let's read this next story here. Stardew Valley is so much more complicated. No, I'm like really good at Stardew. I'm not gonna lie. I've had 3 playthroughs now, and my biggest playthrough is like 103 hours. It's on my Switch. I do have it on the PC too. I just haven't ever started a farm. Well, I played it like on PC a long time ago. Boo, don't worry. I had Subnautica was a top voted one for a while. Like that's why we had 2 episodes already. But then I guess people wanted to see the Reddits again, so we hopped back. It's give or take. I mean, at some point I'll do Subnautica anyways, just because I want to get back on Subnautica. But it's nice to hop around, you know. It's nice to always like hop around. I like what we do on stream, like the different streams, because then it keeps everything like new and fresh, you know. All right, let's read this next one here. Okay, this was a short one. It has 0. Oh, who followed? Hey, Blue Candy. Thank you so much for following. I appreciate you. I think you followed on Twitch, so thank you so much. We're almost at 50 followers on there, so that's amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Means the world to me. All right, so we've got one here. Ugh, my cats are meowing. That means that it is about time for them to eat. So give me 1 second before we read this. I'm going to set this off. Let me set off the cat feeder for the babies. Hey, buddy, give me a second. All right, now you guys can eat. Hey, Blue Candy. It's awesome. I've been great. I hope that you have been great. Thank you again for following. We're really trying to grow the Twitch, so it means the world to me that you're on Twitch streams and following along. All right, let's get into it. All right, so this one's title is My Ex Tried to Ruin My Life. I made sure he never worked in this town again. And this was on Best, but it has 0 upvotes. So I'm curious. Oh, someone said next time ask ChatGPT to make it a little longer. So this sounds like it's a ChatGPT one. Let's not read this one then. Yeah, we're moving on from that one. I don't want to read a ChatGPT one. What? Oh, this one sounds juicy. All right, here we go. Neighbor tried to get my mom fined over our shed. So I got his $40,000 pool filled in. What? Dude, 40,000. Dude, no way. That is some evil revenge. All right, let's read this. And I'll catch up with chat later. We're going to lock in on the story. All right, here we go. I live with my mom. She's quiet, keeps to herself, never bothers anyone. A few months ago, our neighbor decided to report her to the city for having an illegal shed in the backyard. Oh, brother. An illegal shed in my booty hole. Are you kidding me? This is why I hate having rules. So, well, it's good to have rules, but when you have an HOA and stuff like that, you know? It was total BS. The shed's been there for years and has full permits. An inspector came out, checked everything, and left without saying a word. Wow, so that is actual BS if you have the permits. But the neighbor, smug, proud, thought he'd scare us. So I did a little digging. Turns out his brand new pool was way too close to the property line and illegally built over a utility easement. No. I reported him, attached photos, quoted city codes. Oh no. 2 weeks later, the city ordered him to either move it, which is impossible, or fill it in. He lost the whole thing. $40,000 down the drain, literally. Now he gets to look at our completely legal shed every day while standing over a pile of dirt where his pool used to be. Mom sleeps great now. Dude, that's crazy. You should get a small kiddie pool and put it in your backyard, fill it and sit in it while staring at I'm drinking margarita. That would be so funny. So much better here than just petty revenge. That's some evil revenge. Well played. Put the Karen in its place. Yeah, dude, if you're going to be a Karen, or think about it first. You got to know who you're messing with, dude. Wow, that's crazy. Hey, Arch. Good to see you in here. I didn't even know that sheds could be illegal. Yeah, it depends on city codes and HOA codes even. Sheds, some areas have no rules and you can do whatever, but some areas have a code on where the shed could be or how big it could be, especially in America. America's pretty regulated, which kind of sucks, but it is for good reasoning. Yes, exactly, Wiley. That's another reasoning, weather risk. And also, it's also more than just weather risk. I think there's some other stuff too on it, but yeah, it could be a tornado and weather risk. Teco says, does it ever get below 0 for anyone else? Has snowed every month of the year, but August where I live. Holy crap. What? What is 0 degrees in Fahrenheit? 0 is, 32? Oh yeah, we get that. We get that in North Carolina. It's rare here, but we get it I would say probably 3-4 times a year. Usually around January or February, sometimes in December, but we get pretty cold here. It snows here like once a year. So yeah. Actually, now I'm thinking about 32. This happens kind of often in wintertime. What am I saying? Yeah, no, it gets to like 20 here sometimes. But it's only like once or twice, which is rare. More rare, but it happens every year. That's the thing about North Carolina I like. We get all 4 seasons. Like, we get fall, we get spring, we get it all. Yeah. Oh, in the Midwest. Yeah, the Midwest gets way colder. Where in the Midwest are you, Wiley? I forgot. But yeah, like, I've been to Ohio. I had an internship in Cincinnati, Ohio. I've also been to Cleveland. Cleveland gets cold. I've been by Detroit, certain areas like that. And yeah, it can get definitely cold up there. That's the thing about America. Like, there's so many different areas that can be different. Canada can get really cold. Are you kidding me? Canada is even higher than New York, and New York can get cold. So like, I would say, I mean, unless you're in like Toronto might be on par with like the city of New York. But besides that, if you're going anywhere north of Toronto, it's getting even colder. And yeah, way colder than North Carolina. Yeah. I like where I live because you genuinely get all 4 seasons. It's great. It can get really hot, it can get really cold, it can get really cool. And most of the year, it's pretty chill. It's like around, like year round. I mean, we get sporadic weather, so like it fluctuates really fast. But like, we'd be around 18 Celsius would be the average, but it spikes up and down very fast. Damn, that's crazy. Your guys' weathers are crazy. It's crazy how worldwide our fan base is too. Wow, we're over 20 concurrent viewers. Hell yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's read this next one. This is weird. I actually prefer the cold because I get hot so easily. Like, I'm from Vietnam, so like my blood is just hot as fuck. I'm always like hot. I sweat a lot too, so it's nice whenever it's chilly. I don't like it freezing cold, but I like it cold. I prefer the cold a little bit. Yeah, Pennsylvania is close to the same weather as us. It's just like a touch bit colder, I would say, and we get a little bit more rain than you guys. But you guys are a little bit colder, but you guys are close. I mean, East Coast, like most of the East Coast is similar, I guess, with the exception, like that whole middle arch is pretty close in weather. Yeah. All right, let's read this next one. Dude, Russia is cold, bro. I can only imagine, because I've been to like Eastern Europe before, not Russia, but I've been like Croatia and stuff like that. And the summers are beautiful, but it can definitely get cold. Exactly. Science says it perfectly. You can dress against the cold, but when it gets hot as shit, what are you going to do? Just take off your clothes? You can't even do that sometimes. But yeah, I fully agree. You can always dress. And also, I like dressing in the cold because then you can style better. Because like when it's summertime, what are you going to wear? Is a tank top, you know, I guess. I kind of want to wear... I'm trying to debate on if I need to wear glasses right now because my contact's getting a little dry. But no, we're going to commit to this. All right, let's read this next one. Make fun of my mental health. Good luck getting into college. Oh, snap. All right, I'm going to lock in on this, and then I'll catch up with your guys' chat later. All right, let's read this one. Whoop. I got to blur this top part. So I'm going to read this top part, and then I'll unblur, okay? Because it says a word that we cannot say. I, 18 male, so OP is an 18-year-old male, was in my junior year of high school. I'm not going to get into it, but I ended up in a mental hospital for unalive stuff, like when you unalive yourself of stuff, you know, in Minecraft. I had lost one of my only family members who accepted me for being gay. The only extracurricular I had was theater. All right, now I can unblur, starting here. So they lost their only family member who accepted them for being gay. The only extracurricular they did was theater. The theater director treated me like a mom I never had until it came to the shows, at which point everyone was told how worthless they were. Wow, so the theater director just flipped the script whenever the show started. Not to mention, I had been bullied relentlessly. Being gay in Oklahoma, of all places. Oh, yeah, that's the deep South right there. That's a tough area to be gay for sure. I came back from the hospital medicated and ready to finish high school. Some background. I had spent my whole high school career trying to become the president of the drama club. I was the only one to become inducted as a thespian as a freshman and was practically ready to be the next president. The votes came in and I lost. I would have been okay losing to Ben, fake name, until I found out that they had been telling everyone that I was unstable and told people I was in the mental hospital for drug abuse. Wow, what a POS. I hate high school sometimes because there's always those people like that are like political about stuff. Like when you're trying like popularity groups and stuff like that. I never used any drugs or done any drugs for the matter. What's worse, when I confronted my theater teacher about it, she told me everyone has the right to free speech. Oh, brother. And then proceeded to tell me that maybe I shouldn't have had even reached out for help, since this would have prevented my loss of the presidential race. Wow. What? Are you your teacher told you that you shouldn't have reached out for help for your mental health because it would have lost you at a presidential race in a theater club? Are you serious? What a crappy teacher. Not to mention, I had police raid my car, my locker, and even my house. My parents thought I was on meth or something, since the police kept coming to my house. At the first police visit, they quite literally busted down the front door. I even got beat up in the parking lot of my work because a known druggie didn't believe that I didn't have anything on me. Wow, that's insane. I almost got fired from one source of income because of this ordeal. All because he made up this lie and everyone believed it and went talking. This is why rumors is the worst. Like, don't even think about spreading it. It's one thing if you spread something by accident, but like intentionally doing it is so messed up. I mean, all rumors are terrible, but like, come on. I was fuming and found out about the top 10 colleges for this Ben. Oh, snap. This is where the revenge is. Ooh, all right, here we go. I was fuming. Hold up. Let me fix my contacts real quick. Oh, it dropped out. Oh, no. Hold up, guys. Give me 1 second. I got to put my contact back in. I'll be right back, chat. All right. Contacts back in. Oh, bye, Rabbit. It's all good. I'll see you in the next one. All right. So I was fuming and found out the top 10 colleges for this Ben and emailed them all screenshots of what he had said about me. His plan was to go to mostly liberal arts colleges and even received thousands of scholarships and money. All of them rescinded their acceptances when they received the proof. Oh, hell yeah. Correspondence was very slow between me and the colleges. It took them forever to confirm that these screenshots weren't doctored in any way. But by the time it had been confirmed, most of the applicants' deadlines had passed. He hasn't been able to get into college. I feel slightly bad as I found out that his mom was a special ed teacher, and hearing this actually told Ben that when he turns 18, he would need to find a place to live on his own. He has nowhere to live and no future plans. Don't make fun of people's mental health or make up lies for the purpose of winning. I haven't talked to anyone in the leader group since. All of them considered me a druggie, and I became a pariah. I feel a little remorse, but not enough. Dude, that's crazy. But like that's a lesson, man. Like, if you're gonna pick at someone and start a rumor, get ready for real retaliation. Like, this is how like bullying can result in so many things. Like, you guys, people don't even understand how bad it could like result into stuff. Like playing fire with fire, man. All right, I'm gonna catch up with chat real quick. I feel like some of these high temps. Happy to be done. Yeah, I'm happy to be done with high school. I'm happy to be done with all school. Are you kidding me? Like, it's so nice to just not worry. Global warming. Damn, you guys chatted a lot. Holy crap. 3 pairs of socks, long underwear. Holy shit, that's a lot, Wiley. Dress in layers for sure. To get the old one. Oh wait, you get the old one day, and then so you guys are still talking about temperature. Happy to be done with high school. Yeah, I am too. Yeah, chair stream. I'm sorry, guys. I had to pull Hassan. I know he's getting under fire for shit like that right now. Cat enjoying the sun. Yeah, he's just chilling out there. Who was the first guy to get contact lenses, huh? Who heard I can put the contact lenses in your eyes if you want, and said, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it is interesting to see like how contact lenses were developed. Speaking of, I'm just gonna get my glasses because my contacts are drying out. Yeah, these are just a lot better. These right here. Hold on, I'm gonna take out my contacts real quick. All right. Now we rocking glasses today. Glasses loon is on full effect. I can go dramatic. All right, let's read this next one. All right, we are rolling on these. Now to get the macro glasses. Yeah, dude, old contact lenses, like back in the day, must have been tough to deal with for sure. Yeah, Chan, I'm gonna be honest though, like, I know I mentioned Hassan. I'm not a big fan of Hassan. I'm not a big fan of a lot of streamers with the exception of like a very select few. I have my own opinions on him. I don't even want to dive into them because he's a political guy and I don't like to talk politics. So there's some stuff about him that I have found out and read, man. He is interesting. He is very handsome. I will admit. No, objectively, Hassan Piker is a handsome dude. Like, well, I'll say that about him. Hassan, and he's tall as fuck. But if I'm being 100% honest, and this is from, God, this is gonna be such a dramatic take because I know people are like hardcore Hassan fans and stuff. Hassan Piker, looks wise, great guy. From the beginning of me finding out who Hassan was, and I'm talking like that was about 3-4 years ago, I found out some stuff about him where I don't like his perspective on stuff. I'm just going to keep it as vague as possible. I don't like to be political, but Hassan Piker says a lot of things that are very hypocritical of himself. That's all I'm going to say. And a lot of people do that. And there's nothing wrong. Well, there's a lot wrong with it. But a lot of people in the political space, whether you're left or right, will say so many things that they are hypocrites of themselves. And that's all I'm going to say. And I picked up on that really early when I saw Hassan's work. And I was like, oh, hold up. And yeah, it was just interesting. That's just my take. And yes, do you guys want to talk about the lawsuit thing? That stuff's actually insane. I actually do keep up with that, Arch. There's a whole lawsuit going on, not with Hassan, but with some of Hassan's like orbiters, Hassan orbiters, and H3 Ethan. So that's been a ongoing thing right now. I've been keeping up with that as well. Yeah, I opened up a can of worms with this. I know, like, dude, if you talk Hassan Piker, it's almost like the boogeyman. You're either gonna like get placed in like it's so weird that he's so controversial that you get placed into like You're either a huge fan or you absolutely hate him. Hassan orbiters are kind of like people who are also streamers that are very supportive of Hassan. Like, I don't want to say D-riders, but like essentially like they believe that Hassan can do no wrong, essentially, right? And I don't like that outlook on anyone, because anyone has the ability to be a bad person in this world. I'm not saying that they are bad people. There are a ton of amazing people out there, but it is impossible for me to believe that there is not a way that somebody could become a bad person. Except PewDiePie. Not just like I just play. But yeah, like, you know, like that's just how it is, you know? It is like talking, oh my God, Chan, that is the perfect description. It is like talking about Hassan. It is exactly like talking about Hassan. I mean, not Hassan, Taylor Swift. It's such a controversial take. And look, I think he probably means well in his own way. Like, he probably tries to mean well. So like, I don't think he's like an evil villain that's out there. I just think there's a lot of things he says that is very hypocritical, but that is a lot of politics in general. All the political, and even me, like, I'm not gonna fucking say that I'm a saint. Like, I'm a dumbass, bro. Half the shit I say is probably like against myself half the time. But yeah, I have a lot to say about streamers. I could talk about my whole take on like streamers all day. Yeah, BTS is also another one of those where if you say anything against them, there's a whole army that goes against you. But I actually really like BTS. That's like, I'm not even lying. I actually like their music. And there's a specific reason I really support BTS. They are the reason that Asians are in. I'm not even joking. When BTS got big, my dating apps changed completely. Matt, don't even worry about it. You don't need to know who he is. But for those of you guys that don't know, which is pretty interesting, Hassan Piker is one of the top streamers on Twitch. Top streamers on Twitch. I believe, like, I mean, he's got to be up there, right? Hassan and Abi is third right now. Wow, that's actually insane to think about. Wow. He's above Kai? Oh, not in average viewers. Oh, just overall rank. Okay, that makes sense. Average viewers, he wouldn't be that high. Yeah, he would be 12, but that's still like a massive amount of viewers. Yeah, Kai deserves. I like Kai Cenat a lot. Like, I like his content. He's dope. But yeah, he's like a political streamer. He's far left, which is nothing wrong with being on the left. He just, some of his takes are pretty interesting. I like Butter. Butter is a good song. You got it. That's why I don't follow any political. Yeah, that's the thing, dude. A lot of these guys, Matt, about your take, they say these things and then they get into this sphere of like, I need to keep saying stuff like this and I need to keep going in order to maintain my following, in order to keep this clickbaity lifestyle going. And then they start to believe all these things and they don't have a really nuanced way of thinking because they're in so deep that they cannot fathom the other side. And that's where I'm a little bit bothered about like American politics in general, because I'm like, why can't we just be open-minded to all arguments? Just saying. But I could be wrong. Yeah, half of them are out the military. I actually do keep up with some. That's a little cringy of me, but I do keep up with some of the like a little bit of K-pop stuff, especially with BTS. Like, I do keep up with them. Not like hardcore, but I know the whole Jungkook like getting out of the military and all that stuff too. Who is BTS, Jamie? BTS is a huge. I think they would be third generation K-pop band. They are, I would say they are the biggest contributors of making K-pop go mainstream, especially in the American market. Like, they are massive into bringing K-pop into the American market. I think the original guys who introduced K-pop to America would be like the likes of like Big Bang. And this is like late 2000, early 2010. So this is like a long time ago. They were the pioneers of mainstream K-pop, I would say. But BTS is the ones who really revolutionized it. Like, yeah. Big Bang was my though. Big Bang, like that was that back in the day. Psy was interesting because Psy is considered K-pop, but he's not really a K-pop group. And so for say like he didn't popularize K-pop groups as much, you know. Yes, Big Bang is the one with Top from Squid Game. Yes, which is a very controversial thing in its own right. But I liked Big Bang growing up, so Big Bang was probably my first K-pop band that I followed. Damn, I can't believe we're talking about K-pop. We started with NuclearRevenge, and now we're on K-pop, guys. I love streaming. This is the best part of streaming. You just talk about anything. I love this shit. Adam Green. Who's Adam Green? But I shout out to K-pop groups because they help me, become more of an appeal for women. Smooth like butter, undercover. That was a banger, bro. Honestly, all their like big bangers I listen to. I don't listen to their low key shit. What were we talking about? You're talking about something Green. Adam Green. Who's Adam Green? Musician? Is that a musician? Adam Green song. No, I don't know who this is. Nope, no clue. I'm sorry, Pani. What else is going on? I'm like old K-pop fan. Oh, hell yeah. Way before BTS. I can keep up a little bit. Dude, I really want, not sure if Vixen is old school, but I love their songs. I don't know Vix that well. I haven't kept up with K-pop since Big Bang. Dang, you guys are like OG fans. You guys know like Big Bang is crazy. Let's talk about this one right here. Sorry for the VODs. We're diving into whatever now, but we'll get back into NuclearRevenge. I still want to read like one or two more. Do you guys know Tae Yang? Dude, Tae Yang, when I was like, I'm talking like 5, like, he's a part of Big Bang, but he was my guy. He made the song that I listened to so much. I was like 6 or 7, thinking like it was such a big deal. Wedding Dress. That song was so good. Yes, I have ADHD, but undiagnosed. I'm just playing. I don't know if I have ADHD, to be honest. I've never got diagnosed. Probably though. Wedding Dress was my dude. This song right here, it's like, baby, you can be my lady. Dude, this song was so good. Man, I'm sorry, man. That was my shit. I just went on a tangent. Yes, I probably have ADHD. Honestly, these streams are just like ADHD streams at this point. I should just name them that. How does a man become a group? What? Like a couple people in it? I'm usually into pop. Hey, Jamie, my favorite genre is pop, punk, and punk. That's like my top genre that I listen to. I listen to a lot though. I listen to hip hop as well, and I listen to a little bit of hardcore, but pop punk and post hardcore is like probably my bread and butter. People don't want to be wrong, and that's why I don't listen. Yeah, Matt, I fully agree. People don't want to be wrong, and it's like if I scream hard enough, Matt, to Matt's point, if I scream hard enough about my thing, maybe you will just like stop. Like that's where their like mentality is. Anyone big into Michael Jackson? I was into Michael Jackson growing up because having Asian parents that were foreign, they didn't know much of American music, but the few that they knew was they really loved Michael Jackson at the time. And so like we all knew Michael growing up in terms of like, you know, that he's an icon. It'd be nearly impossible to not know who Michael Jackson is. Started season 3 last night, and I'm upset. I did not watch Squid Game's new season. No, I'm a little behind there. I've only seen season 1. International pop is good. Hip hop is great. Love me some punk. Like I could talk punk for hours. Punk and like pop punk. I like some metal. Indie's great. Love indie as well. Do I have ADHD control Z to circle back? Probably not 100%. Adam Green, the political YouTuber. Oh, I know who Adam Green is. I know exactly who you're talking about. He did a debate once that I watched. I don't really watch him though, so I can't say anything on Adam at all. You guys said that Adam Green is attractive. Let's see. Let's see. Political. Would he? Who? This guy? Wait, this guy? Adam Green, the political YouTuber. Who? Am I spelling this wrong? Is it green like that? Why can I not find this Adam Green guy? Who? I don't know who. I don't think it's Adam Green, right? Or is it? I don't fucking know, dude. I can't find him. As a fellow ADHDer, he definitely has it. Yeah, dude, these streams go everywhere. They go AWOL. I listen to basically anything, not gonna lie. Sounds like the Korean Justin Bieber type beat. Kinda. Hey, Matt's also a rock guy. We have a lot of rock fans in this. This makes a lot of sense why you guys watch me. I mean, we are all like a little misfitty. I have a Misfits tattoo. Oh, that's sick. That's awesome. Dancing, my short king. I'm a big pop punk guy too. Dude, I love me some pop punk, dude. I'm actually friends with well, this is controversial. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I'm friends with his backup drummer, Machine Gun Kelly's. I've never met him personally, like not Machine Gun Kelly. Well, I was in the same vicinity. I never really like met him. But RIP Sum 41. Oh my God, Sum 41. So am I still waiting? Isn't that them? Isn't it Still Waiting? Yeah. Oh, stop hating. So am I. That was a banger. Love that you got that. This came to seeing if guys are attractive to you. Oh, totally. I'm 100% comfortable with my sexuality enough to appreciate like who objectively is an attractive guy or not. We could do that all day, and I don't really care. I can do that with women and men and just be like as straight up as possible. Because like deep down, I know I'm straight, but I can appreciate a good looking person. IDK, if that's sarcastic or for real, but thank you if it is, lol. No, it was for real. Smooth, trendy. Oh, no, you're talking about what Wiley said. Yeah, you guys are all so funny to me. Like, reading your guys' chats are so awesome. Dude, Chan, I'm gonna be honest with you, I never grew out of my emo phase. It's kind of insane. Like, I still listen to Blink-182. Like, I still listen to, and I listen to, like, new artists, too. Like, well, let me go into my main, let me pull up my Spotify real quick. Well, hey, for all the VOD fans, I'm gonna pull up the Spotify, and then I'm gonna get back into Nuclear Revenge, because, I feel like I gotta lock back in. I listened to Kids Aren't Already All Right the other day. Kids Aren't All Right. That's a dark ass song. Yeah, I can only imagine. Thank you. I've combined ADHD humor, dark East humor, and actually. Let's see. Oh, my Spotify isn't in already. Oh, never mind. But I was gonna say, so like I listen to a lot of newer artists. I listen to Sawyer Hill. He's not really punk. Jack Case, he's pop punk. I listen to some Hot Mulligan, which is like post emo West or Midwest punk. But then out of old music, I listen to Blink-182 still. I listen to a little bit of Oasis. I mean, I listened to a lot of Paramore, a F ton of Paramore, All American Rejects all day too. I can literally listen to this I could list a million of like the 2000s bands that I still listen to this day. It really is not a phase. It's not a phase, Mom. All right, let's get back into Pro Revenge. Or I said pro revenge, nuclear revenge. Let's lock back in. Whoa, this one's crazy. What? All right, guys. This one's title is You Want to Hit a Disabled Person? Have fun with 30 plus years in jail. What? All right. Obligatory. Found this on subreddit because of the click. Real quick. This happened in January, but the district attorney called me 2 days ago with an update. Oh, snap. Here we go. I'm a wheelchair user because of a fainting disorder, severe POTS for those that are wondering. Oh, Wiley has POTS. That's crazy. Wait, POTS is postural arthritic. I can't pronounce that. I'm not gonna even try. What is it? Symptoms. Whole body gets dizziness. Oh, I know this disease. I've met somebody with POTS before. Met a couple people. Yeah. Okay, yeah. It like your whole, like, not immune system, but like a lot of like your body feels very weak and dizzy. Yeah. I've definitely heard of this before. Yeah. All right. So the OP is a wheelchair user because of a fainting disorder, severe POTS, for those that are wondering. I came home from work to see a car parked right under a no parking fire lane and on the sidewalk. It blocked the way into my apartment, and I had to leave the wheelchair in my car. I started taking photos of the car because this has been an issue with the owner for months now. My landlord had told me to get photos of it and email them to him every time she did it after I mentioned it in passing. While taking a photo, the owner came out of the apartment to scream at me. I stayed calm and tried to walk into my apartment. She got in my face and started screaming and continued screaming. And by reflex, I shoved her back. Oh, she then grabbed me by the throat and began to punch me. What? After a minute, my neighbors and roommate, who was having a smoke, came running and got her off me. Holy crap. Police were called. Paramedics showed up because my neck was bleeding. She had acrylic nails. What? And I ended up going to the ER because I had a syncope episode. I don't know how to say that. While the paramedics were there. What does this mean? Syncope. A temporary loss of consciousness. Oh, wow. Holy crap. I decided to press charges, thinking I'd just get an aggravated assault or something. I made sure that they got her while she was home because I knew she had a pew-pew on the wall, despite being a convicted felon. Holy crap. Who is this neighbor? When the police went to arrest her, they found that the car was stolen, her car. Without insurance, she didn't have a license, and there was used needles all over the apartment with an 8-year-old child, and the pew-pew which was there was also marked stolen. Bro, what? This is insane. Child is in foster care and she is in jail without bond. The DA said that her child recorded it. She apparently told her to, and it was already ruled as assault because of the overwhelming. Oh, her child recorded the whole incident? What? And it was already ruled as an assault because of the overwhelming proof, plus the 7 counts of assault she's gotten in the past 5 years. Wow. Mental disorders is a real thing, guys. I gotten her nailed with it outside of her home. She could have gotten it. Wait, hold up. Had I gotten her nailed with it outside her home, she would have only gotten probation since she was a parent. But now she has lost her kid, her home, her car, and is going to jail for about 30 years or more, depending on what the state charges her with for the drugs. What the hell did we just read? That was crazy. Honestly, safe. Very, oh, Jahat. Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. But dude, what the fuck kind of story was that? That was crazy. What else? Let me catch up with chat a little bit. I had pots of nausea. Oh, that's crazy that you guys had pots. It is very dark and very catchy. I cast counterspell. Harry fireballs. My boy, hey, thank you so much, Jahat, for tuning in. Jahat's someone I know in IRL, and it's so cool to see him here. Yeah, I'm glad that this person got locked up. All right, let's read this next one. I have another one. Let's get it rolling. Here we go. Revenge by my dad on the man who harassed my sister. Holy crap, this one's gonna be crazy. Working out and tuning in. Oh hell yeah, man, you gotta stop working out, bro. You're already too sexy. You be new working out. You already know that, Jahat. All right, let's get locked in here. Revenge on my dad on the man who harassed his sister. Holy shit. I lost my dad 20 days ago. Sorry, I said 20 years. I lost my dad 20 days ago. Oh, I'm so sorry to OP. The hurt is fresh. Not sure of the legality, but since my dad is gone, I guess the story can't harm anyone anymore. My dad was my hero in more than one way. Oh, I've read this story before on a different subreddit. Oh, I've definitely read this before. We're going to read it again because this is a really good story, actually, for those of you that haven't heard it already. He was a wonderful storyteller, and there was so many stories about him. Here was the one that was my personal favorite. Yeah, I've definitely read this one before. Oh, Victoria, hey, it's okay. It's okay. You can watch the VOD another time. No problem. Thank you for tuning in, Victoria, for even a little bit. My dad is the youngest. Yeah, I've definitely read the story before. My dad is the youngest of 9 siblings. He had 6 brothers and 2 sisters. He loved his siblings, and as the youngest sibling, he was loved and pampered. One thing that me and him shared was our short temper. As a young man, my dad was known to be very volatile. When he was 19, his second oldest sister, let's call her C, was married to a military man. He was mostly posted on the border. We were Indians. This meant that my auntie C was living with her in-laws like many women in India still do. The problem with her older brother-in-law, or wait, hold up. The problem was her older brother-in-law. Let's call him A-hole for short, or A. A was a goon. A for a-hole. An extortionist and an A word, and yes, an R word. He was scary. He was known to be physically imposing at 6.8 or 6 feet 8. Well built and was unbeatable in fights. No woman was ever safe when he was around. Oh yeah, I've definitely read this story. You guys, for anyone who doesn't know this story, this is about to get insane. Oh, you're playing Final Fantasy VII, Jamie? That's awesome. That's so sick. Oh, Mogul with that dude? That's so cool. After my Aunt C got married to her husband, the nasty brother-in-law A set his sights on her. He began harassing her, forcing her to, cuddle with him. The family did nothing to protect her. This was such a nasty story. Don't worry, this story gets good though. This went on for weeks. She was tired of fighting and was totally shattered emotionally. One day she found the courage to talk about it with one of her older nephews who was 18 at the time. He went home to my dad and broke down about how C was suffering and how her honor and life is at risk. This enraged my dad, but he realized that he wouldn't be able to take down this monster that A was all by himself. He gathered his friends, his oldest nephews, and together they hatched a plan. Actually, they had no plan. The plan was to beat the hell out of him to send a message, but they wouldn't be able to do this when he was sober. So they waited in the evening that he would usually get drunk. My dad and his friend drank as well for liquid courage. And then they waited for him on the dark roads of their village, and which still had sketchy electricity. Then they pounced on him as soon as they got the chance. It was 6 young drunk fools against one mountain of a guy. While drunk, he was still able to fight well, and a bunch of his minions, who unknown to my dad, were right behind him. It became a free-for-all fight. My dad drunk and in the frenzy of the fight, grabbed a piece of wood he found on the road and hit him with all his might, straight in the head. And then my dad and his friends ran off because someone had called backup and these young lads weren't sober enough to come up with a plan or a sane idea. Dad somehow made it home, showered, and slept. Next day, he told his mom that he had gotten into a fight and crap went down. As he was telling his mom what happened, Dad had been informed by his brothers that the cops were looking for him. Grandpa told him to lay low for a little bit. Unfortunately, A made it to a hospital and was able to give a statement. Dad was on the run for a bit later, but surrendered himself because, according to him, I was tired of eating crappy food. They honest to God surrendered to the cops and demanded a good meal. The case was dismissed and A did manage to live, but he did not survive long as the injury my dad gave him chased up to him to his grave in the next few months. This story was something Dad always liked to tell. He had zero remorse for what he did to A because, in his words, not a single woman was harmed or A in the village after this incident. I miss my dad, and I'm sure he had much more stories that I will never know. Yeah, we definitely read that story before. Dude, that was a crazy one. Dude's actually low-key a hero. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, 6'8" is insane. I'm glad you remembered it too, Jamie. Like the stream, Loon Cells. Like the stream. You guys don't have to, but it would be nice if you guys did like the stream. It helps with the algorithm. Already, Loon Baboon. Actually, they had no plan. Let's go, Papa. The bamboo loon balloon straight from the baboon moon baby boo. Damn, that was crazy to read. Tongue twister for real. Ooh, I like a story like this one. Here we go. Let's read this one. I love a good revenge hacker story. We will read, what are we, hour and 20 minutes? We'll read like 2 or 3 more, and then we'll end the stream on just chatting with you guys like we usually do about whatever topics you want. You guys can ask me whatever too. Revenge on the hacker. One day I got an email from a hosting provider. Wait, hold up. Before we get into this, I do want to mention something to you guys. Everyone who wants to get notified when we're streaming the day of and the time of, join the Discord server. The Discord server is in the link in the description box. But with that being said, I will go ahead and share it in chat as well for anyone who wants to be notified on the days of stream. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat. I'm also going to post it in the Twitch chat as well. Oh, hey, Blue Candy. I forgot that you're Ivan. Thank you. It's so cool to have Twitch viewers as well. And I'm going to post it in my kick. Boom. Here we go. We got everything rolling. If in case anybody wants to join the Discord will be where I announce day of streams, like what time and stuff. And so if you guys want to get notified, of course. All right, let's get into this. Revenge on a hacker. Woo, let's get into it. One day I got an email from a hosting provider telling me that attacks had been launched from our server and I needed to get a look into it. I find that there is indeed a hacker in our server. He was using an app to anonymously control his bot network, among other things. I looked at the app he was using and discovered that it was an open source project. I then downloaded the code for the backdoor, modified it to log everything to a file, and replaced his app with a honeypot version. Oh, okay. Oh, Jamie, you can post your story. I'll read it right after. Or you can like post it in chat, is what I meant. Over the next 6 months, I collected every scrap of information I could on this guy. I then used this information to take over many of his accounts online. Oh, you reverse scammed him, including his main email account. That was the account where he had registered all his services to. So I was able to issue password reset requests for everything he owned. I gained control of 6 other email accounts, 24 IRC accounts, his Facebook page, his dating profile. What? Numerous websites and the backup site he had used for his cell phone. I have his phone number, his mom's number, and his girlfriend's number. I knew his address, birthdays, and schools he went to, even his favorite foods and music. Holy crap, that is insane. Oh, Jamie, you don't have to. You're good. After I took every single online account he had ever had away from him, I sent a nasty email to his ISP in an effort to extort yet more information from them. In that email, I said something very unkind things about the monarch of Indonesia and how I might smear the monarch publicly if I didn't get the information. Oh, you did that with his email? The hacker disappeared immediately after that. I had looked for him at times over the last 15 years since, but he has not resurfaced. The Indonesian Laze Majesty laws regarding insults to the monarchy are not to be trifled with. The prison terms for such offense is 15 years. Dude could have gotten locked up just for that. That's crazy. Oh my God. Oh no, an animal A? Ooh, yeah, let's read this one. Revenge on an animal A word. One day, I was on my evening walk with my dog, and we came across a small dog standing in the middle of the street shaking. Its hair was matted, had mange, ridden with fleas, one eye swollen and sealed shut with mucus. Nails so long it was walking on the back of its paws, malnourished and quivering. I was shocked. Aw, poor little guy. I called my wife to bring me a blanket and come pick us up. While I was waiting, the door of the house in front of us opened, and out came a disheveled-looking older man. He started calling for the dog to come inside. I absolutely lost it. Oh, that was his dog? I screamed at him, asking if it was his dog, and he replied it was. I asked him why it was in such bad shape, and he said, "She's sick and won't eat." I yelled at him that there was no effing way in the world I would let him take her back inside. The shouting match lasted long enough for a few neighbors to come outside, who later told me he had another dog in the house. Eventually, my wife pulls up, and I wrap the doggo in the blanket and go home. I looked up the name of our local no-kill shelter, but they were closed until the following day. My wife and I decided to call her Sally. We gave Sally a bath and went through and bought some wet food since she wouldn't eat dry kibble. She devoured it. I sat next to her. I sat her up a nice sleeping area in the garage for her to spend the night. Dude, that's crazy that this was a guy's dog and the dog was covered in fleas. Like, that's just insane, dude. What a shit fucking owner. First thing in the morning, I took Sally to the shelter and called animal control and told them what happened. They went to check her out, took a statement from me, and ended up at his house confiscating his other dog. Unfortunately, yeah, the other dog probably is full of fleas and in terrible condition too. Unfortunately, Sally was put down due to horrible shape it was in. She was also very old. Oh, poor Sally. Yeah, Jihad, I'm also pissed. Here's where the revenge begins. This old a-hole house was on the route I took my walk. I walked my dog twice a day in. My dog liked to take a dump about 2 houses before we reached his. Perfect. Now, I didn't need to carry bags of all the time way back to my house. I started tossing them onto his roof twice a day. Oh, dude, that's so fucked. Just tossing poo-poo. Oh, my gosh. At first, he would climb a ladder around once a week to get them down, but eventually I broke his will to do that. This went on for about a year before I moved. His roof was covered in bags of I was also printed out flyers with his address and pictures of how I found Sally and put them on all the neighbors' mailboxes. That's crazy. I live across town now, but every couple months I ride by and toss a bag of on his roof to let him know I'm still thinking about Sally. Dude, that is crazy revenge. That is actually insane. Like, genuine super villain revenge. You still drive by and throw dog on his roof. That's crazy. Oh my god. Reading Jamie's comment said, I put on a gray hat to take out the black hat who has been put phishing software in my grandpa's phone and computer. Oh yeah, F that freaking hacker. Passing the I'm sorry. I'm back, but I think there's also a Reddit that killed me on the lines of playing. Oh, my camera going out. Saying something and getting knocked out. I like Nuclear Revenge because most of the time OP isn't playing. Yeah, these stories have been insane. I don't have much time to speak. My phone is under attack and heavily lagging. LMAO, this guy is also under attack. They were trying to hack his accounts and listen to conversations, so I pulled an Uno reverse card on them, set the background of the computer to the guy's house. It wasn't hard. It was a greedy family member. Oh, that's crazy, Jamie. Good for you for reverse hacking. But yeah, what a freaking story, man. That was nuts. Wow, the polls on YouTube for the next stream is neck and neck. Oh, it's a tie right now. You guys want to see either Stardew Valley or r/Made Me Smile. And then Subnautica and Blasphemy is tied too. What a close race for next stream. All right, let's read this next story. What? Hell has no fury like two women scorned. Say goodbye to all your stuff. 15 years ago, I had a boyfriend that I had been with for 6 years. He moved into another city for work while I finished my studies, and then I would move there too. He was apartment hunting, subleasing in the meantime. He came home almost every weekend and during Christmas and New Year's. He found an apartment in January and invited me up to show it, and I prepared to move as I prepared to move up, looking for a job, looking for a new furniture, etc. Late February, I told him it's time to terminate the lease on the apartment in our old hometown when he suddenly broke up with me. What? And you had just started moving in too? And then he just broke up with you? What? I was shocked and very sad. He collected some clothes and his very expensive PC, which he'd built from scratch. It was his baby. 2 weeks later, he updated his profile pic on Facebook to him kissing another woman. Just 2 weeks later after breaking up with you? Oh my goodness. What? Oh my gosh. Obviously, they hadn't been dating 2 weeks. I called him and called him out on it. And he admitted to having met her 2 months ago. So a month and a half into dating you before the breakup. He was at the airport to travel abroad with his buddies for the weekend, so we didn't talk that long. That same evening, I decided to tell his new girlfriend. I managed to find her on Facebook and wrote to her. She didn't believe me at first, of course, but I sent her text pics and I described their apartment in detail. Well, her apartment now, as it turned out. Oh, so this whole time he moved into her apartment? While I sent her a D pic he'd sent me with their bedroom clearly in the background. She said, okay, enough, I believe you. Wow. Hey, LJ, good to see you in. She told me they'd been dating for 8 months, not 2. 8 months? So he was openly dating you and her for 6.5 months together. Dude had 2 whole lives. She'd been in Africa for 2 months in December and January, which would explain why he was able to be with me for those 2 weeks over the holidays and why he could invite me to see the apartment. So this whole time, he had her go into her apartment, not even a different apartment. We wrote a lot. He sent us the exact same Valentine's Day text. He sent the same Valentine's Day text to 2 different girls. What a savage. He bought us this exact same Christmas presents. Dude was living a repeat life. You get the picture. After comparing notes, it was time for our revenge. She cut up all his clothes and left them in a pile on the floor. I told her about the PC and advised her to tear that effort to pieces. She hacked it screwdrivers and hammers. Every piece was beyond saving. When he came home on Sunday, she tossed him out with nowhere to go, but not before showing him all the possessions obliterated. Edit, I need to clarify that legally it was my PC. I'd won money on one of those scratch lottery tickets, but since we were living together, I kind of thought it was ours. Huge mistake. Wow. What a dumbass, dude. A way to go living two lives, not telling anyone. What do you expect would happen? Also, Cloud wants to say hi for once. It's Cloud. Usually it's Sora, but Cloud says hi. He's the chill one. He's just been sitting on my lap this whole time as I read that. Reading your guys' chats. Yeah, Jamie, you are lit AF for getting them. That's so good. It's always on low votes, and I'm always the one picking it. That's okay. I mean, I'm willing to do all the videos eventually. I don't play around with my grandpa. He's the only grandpa I ever had. Oh, hell yeah. Besides his wife, Joan. I love that. 22 years in the Navy. Wow. 5 heart attacks and beat cancer. What a freaking champion. Oh, my God. Your grandpa is built fucking different. I had one guy in school that dated me and cheated on us with 8 other people. 8 people, boo? 2 of those people being my best friends. Okay, that's messed up of your best friends to be cheating on, like, being homewreckers. And one of them being my friend's cousin. That's insane. What the hell? What kind of hoe is that? That's crazy. All right. Well, let's read another story, and then we will end the stream on us just all chatting it up. Let's see. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a bunch of text messages right now. Okay, cool. I'll do this later. I'll worry about it later. Damn, no one knew about that? That's crazy. All right, let's read at least 2 more. Let's see. Wow, what? Throw me down a flight of stairs and destroy my relationship? Well, I hope you didn't like your life. What? Oh, LJ, you got some El Pastor? Let's go. Or chicken El Pastor. And basmati rice. That sounds so good. All right. As you knew it. Oh, wait. I hope you didn't like your life as you knew it. Okay. So a little bit about me before I go into this. And before you ask about it. I am going to be incredibly vague about a lot of specifics. If you've ever worked in cybersecurity or for the government, you'd understand why I'm cagey. I graduated from high school in the late 2000s. I tried college. It didn't work out for me. So I enlisted like I had already planned to after I got an associate's. I got into the Navy, passed quals for the special warfare's trading block while in basic. And after completion went and started training to become a SEAL. Oh, damn. That's intense. That's like the most intense group, which I did not complete because that is no joke. But it's cool because I went SWCC instead and became a dirty boat guy. What is a SWCC? SWCC. Oh, Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman. Wow, that's intense. SWCC are the guys you see in the movies, arriving just in time with fast boats, blasting loads of firepower at the bad guys so that they could pull our boys out of hell. Wow, that's a scary job. Sometimes they work with Hello Crews or man the Hellos themselves. Most often, they just patrol riverways in Iraq, begging for someone to shoot at them to break the monotony. Monotony? Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. That sounds way cooler than it really was. Emily, thank you for following. I appreciate you, Emily Jordan. Thank you so much. We're almost at 50 now. That's so sick. You followed on Kick. Oh, that's amazing. What's up? All right, so getting back to the story, that sounds way cooler than it really was. Aside from becoming an expert in all things small watercraft and doing a good amount of diving and air crew as well. I didn't get to do the cool there's things I did do while strapped to a SEAL team, but I didn't get to, I don't think I can talk about that kind of stuff. No door kicking, no breaching, no team. Only a handful of occasions did I even get into a firefight. So this guy actually wanted the smoke. That's crazy. Side note, most YouTube special force operations are for former teams or groups guys who are full of and their colleagues did most of the heavy lifting. They just tell stories from their perspective, so somebody gets to tell it without divulging identities, etc. Anyways, I got out of our boat 8 years in after being injured and did my last 4 years of my 12-year career doing other stuff in special warfare, more cyber oriented. I retired, collected my VA card, and went to school for a couple semesters to bone up on I needed for some cybersecurity certifications. And I've been working in the private sector ever since 2019, got my own LLC and everything. So this story actually starts in the early 2016s. I had been back from my hometown for a while, which was near a major naval base. I had changed careers, tracks, and was on med leave for a bit after my injury. So I had been able to take some time to reconnect with some of my old high school sweethearts of mine. Oh, an old high school sweetheart of his. So just one person. And we had been dating for several months. She was my best friend growing up, and I absolutely blew it when I had an opportunity to take her to junior prom. And we didn't see each other much after we graduated, and I enlisted. So we'd grown apart, and in the several years it's been since we'd parted ways and reconnected, she had had a kid of her own and an adorable 3-year-old girl, and daddy wasn't in the picture, which was absolutely his loss because she was a gem of a child. We grew close quickly, and after a couple months, she'd occasionally call me daddy, which made my heart sore. And that's actually really sweet. And as for her mother, I was headed over heels for her years ago. Wait, hold up. And as for her mother, I was head over heels for her years ago, and reconnecting with her only reinforced those old feelings because it took off like a rocket. We were inseparable for the couple of months, and when we weren't going on fun dates, play dates with her kids, or acting like horny high schoolers after we'd send her to bed. We were texting each other at work, tagging each other on funny memes on Facebook, dorky, cheesy, lovey-dovey kid. That's embarrassing to admit as an adult in his 30s now, but I mean, we were in love, real love, something that to that point, I'd never known like that before. I'd been shot at and stabbed. My whole injury was due to getting my leg blasted with a 7.62, but none of that made me more nervous and scared than the new love I was feeling. Aw, that's actually really romantic. Bye, Pixel. Thank you for tuning in. I had it bad. However, there was a complication in the form of her brother, quote unquote. Some lanky inbred wannabe gangster W-word boy, whiter than driven snow, who came in and started crashing on her futon a month and a half into our relationship. This POS had the highly unfortunate blessing of also being the kiddo's godfather/uncle. He had no blood relation to my girlfriend or the child. He was just some former tweaker who worked at the Target they had both worked together for. Oh, so it's a quote-unquote brother. They worked in Target before together. Dang, this is kind of sus. Who started crashing from low blood sugar. He was coming down from whatever high he was on. So she got him a cheeseburger and soda, which in the tweaker culture is like being given a handful of gold. He was forever in her debt and became her right-hand man, never wanting her romantically as he preferred trash similar to his own, thank God. She referred to him as a brother as he referred to her as sister. So naturally, he was uncle to the little one, which meant that he could show up in the middle of the night, midway through our relationship. It was a very bad sign for me because that homeless, now jobless, freckless idiot was moving in. Holy crap. Um, our friendship started out on a very suddenly bad note because he was met by me and a 45 in his face, wondering why a grown ass man was in my girlfriend's apartment while we were in bed. And I heard something going bump. Holy crap, that is so scary. Imagine that. Side note, for any concerned citizens, the kid was sleeping between us and they didn't have any pets. So I knew whatever was making a noise out there wasn't anyone in the room and nobody else should have been there. Pair that with recent break-ins in the complex and you can see why I was justifiably armed. Now, I did not live there. I had my own studio near the base. I just stayed there the night often because it was convenient and fun. And with the recent break-ins, they also felt safer with me there. So win-win-win. So naturally, I didn't have any say in anything regarding him living there. And in an effort to placate the young whippersnappers, after holding a effing 1911 to his nose, I let him borrow my PS3 and a spare TV. He had something to do because F him. If he was actually going to go out and find a job instead of smoking weed out of the balcony all day and playing Need for Speed and COD on my PlayStation, this effort acted like my girlfriend was his mom. Expected her to cook him food, and when she got home from work, expected her to take out the laundry and fold it for him. God, he once asked her if she could relace his shoelaces onto his sneaker because she does it better. What the hell? This kid was 23. Was an effing loser. And why is your girlfriend doing this all for him though? Like that's like, I get being nice to people, but like that's enabling. And beyond just being a live-in babysitter for the actual child when mom and I were at work, because my med leave ended eventually, served absolutely no value. We'd come home to a messy kitchen and shit all over the apartment. Numerous times he'd leave a growler in the toilet and neglect to flush. And F him for asking my girlfriend to do his laundry because I didn't always see TP in the water when I was the one to flush it. That man, oh, ew, what? Ew. He didn't even wipe? Oh, that's nasty. That man was an itchy a-hole all the time. I guarantee it. Oh, this man had an itchy a-hole all the time. I guarantee it. He was good with the kid, though. I will give him that. She never had a dirty diaper before she transitioned to the potty. So good for him on actually being a little useful. That's crazy. Dude, what? She made him do laundry and he wouldn't even wipe? Ugh. And it was like this for 4 months. Eventually, I was spending so much time over there that she and I were talking about getting an apartment together so that we were not paying two leases. And of course, dude guy was hitting us up for a spare room, which we fought and argued about because 4 months after moving in, the mother effer still didn't have a job. This guy who talked so much game about being a successful drug dealer in his late teens, lol, couldn't move legal weed. He claimed to be a professional drift car driver, but this guy's delusional, but he nearly backed my car into a light pole 4 times, the handful of times I trusted him enough to park it for me. And every single time we argued or had a little spat, his choice of words were, I'm going to kick your ass. If I can't kick your ass myself, I'm going to have a whole bunch of friends who can do it and will. Now, I want to reiterate, I was not a SEAL. I did not go through the rigorous combat training of the SEALs treat special warfare operators and team guys. I learned enough to qualify you for special warfare. But what SEALs go through in BUDS and their supplemental training schools, their individual specialty schools and whatever, blah, 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 was completely missed on my career track. We drive boats, we fly some choppers, we jump out of planes. Sometimes we do a mission with the SEALs, but most of the time it's partner force op or some special op, blah, 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 blah. Maybe we'd pull a few drivers, blah, 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 blah. I was also injured. I could walk on both legs, but at this point, I could walk on both legs by this point, but if my painters weren't working well enough, or if the weather was bad, there was days where I couldn't stand up straight without leaning on something. But the rest of my body was still in decent shape, and I had trained in BJJ in the fleet. I also practiced Kali and Silat with some Filipino guys I met on base. They were also why I loved Olympia so much. I picked up different blah, 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 blah. All right. I could also kill this effer with my bare hands. No 1911 necessary. But I loved his sister, and I wanted to marry her and adopt his child. So I bit my tongue whenever he would flashed on me. Weeks went by. Every now and then, he'd snap at me for some reason. Damn, this is gonna be the last story because this is definitely long. But we'll chat after this chat. I decided I've had enough, and one day when I was leaving to head home, I took the PS3 and TV with me. He loved that. He declared that I was banned from the apartment, to which my girlfriend reminded me that it's her apartment and her rules and that he needed to be respectful. Then one fateful morning, maybe a week after that, I had spent the night and we were getting up early because I needed to be on base. And she told me that she needed to go work. And we got out of the door with the kiddo. And just as we were buckling her up to her car seat, I realized I had left my wallet inside. So I went back inside the apartment to retrieve it. And I was walking towards the front door. Ass fuck McGee pipes up with, "You're cleaning those dishes when you get back." Dear audience, those dishes were dishes he had dirtied the previous night when he had made late night stoner mac and cheese and somehow needed a mixing bowl with four different wooden spoons to make it. I looked at him, looked back, looked at him, and then looked back at him and said, "You're high, clean those yourself, you bitch. And don't ever tell me what to do again." Before doing the damned best about face a man could do when low on painkillers and high on pain and salt, and walking out the door. I was maybe 6 or 7 steps down their stairway, and I heard the door fly open behind me. I turned to see him coming at me with both hands, and he threw... Whoa. Okay, finally, we get some action. Here we go. All right, let me read this again. I was maybe 6 or 7 steps down their stairwell when I heard the door fly open behind me. I turned to him coming at me with both hands, and he threw me the rest of the way down the stairs. I landed hard on my back, knocked the wind out of my body, and hitting the back of my head hard enough on the concrete deck. My leg caught fire with this fresh pain. Then he jumped on top of me, snapping me out of the daze, and I went to work on him. I grit through the pain and started working to get him off of me. Then I proceeded to rain hell on his face with my fist. I split his lips. I popped him in his eyes and the temple. I even gave his Adam's apple a nice little tap. I was effing furious, and I honestly didn't care if I unalived him in that moment. Someone had to be unalived, and it was definitely not going to be me. This is all in Minecraft, by the way. But she saved his life for a second time. She was wondering why it was taking so long. And when she heard the yelling, she came out running and found me on top of him, beating the shit out of him. She screamed for me to get off, and I did. As soon as I did, his mouth started running. "Sister, he threatened me. He threatened to kill me, and he attacked me and threw me down the stairs because I asked him to bring back the PS3. Which she knew was effing BS, and the neighbor's security camera outside backed that up. But in the moment, she was livid, and rightfully so. I took her to work. I took the kid to daycare, and I went to base. I had to explain to my CO why I had bloody knuckles and why I was holding a cold pack to the back of my head. They offered to call the police so I could press charges, and I told them no. My CO damn near ordered me to call the police, and that's a good CO, or he'd put me back on med leave, which he couldn't do technically. To which I replied that I'd rather be on med leave than lose my girlfriend for calling the cops on her brother. Aw, what an honorable guy. I respect that. Because that's kind of a man's man right there. Even though he did all that to you, you weren't going to call the cops on him. Like, that's better than me. It was made clear to me under no uncertain terms that I am particularly stupid kind of asshole, that I would come back. Wait, hold up. And that that would come back to bite me in the ass someday. Well, he was right. Wait, hold up. What? It was made clear to me under no uncertain terms that I am particularly stupid kind of asshole. Okay, well, he was right. Basically, oh, the CO said that it would be a dumb move to not call the cops on him. Okay, here we go. Basically, brother gave an ultimatum that either I leave and she dumps me, or he leaves and walks out of her and her daughter's life, which, to be fair to my ex, that loser had been the only constant male figure in her. Oh, to your ex? Oh no, you guys broke up? That loser had been the only constant male figure in her kid's life since she was born. So that would have been devastating for the gremlin, and she wanted to spare her that kind of pain, which meant I got the axe. Wow, she dumped you because of this fucking bum? That's crazy. Honestly, I'd rather taken the actual axe to the heart, because it would have actually felt way. Oh, because of what I actually felt was way worse. It's one thing when you're saying goodbye to the woman you love, but to have them say goodbye to a sobbing little. But to have to say goodbye to a sobbing little kid you wanted so much in your heart to adopt and make your own. I don't want to meet the man who can hold back the tears from that. That man scares me. Dang, that sucks. I went back to the apartment. I put together a little box with the toys and keepsakes and clothing items that they left behind, and waited for the right time to bring it to her work. I was a broken man, but that little effer, he wanted to kick me while I was down. Remember those friends he mentioned? Well, he wasn't lying. He did have some friends with rap sheets and bad intentions, and in the months that followed her and I's breakup, he put them to work. I woke up one morning to discover my car had been blocked up, the wheels taken off, my cat cut out, and they had sprayed painted slurs and swastikas on the car after busting out of my windows. I wasn't even Jewish, and I had been D'ing his sister for the last 6 months, but somehow I knew I was both a K word and an F word. What my insurance didn't cover cost me $2,500 in repairs. Police were called. A report was made. Surveillance footage was useless, though. Faces covered. They wore gloves, so no prints. And it's not like they were rolling out the CSI to collect hair follicles on off the decks for auto vandalism. This is crazy. Wow. 2 weeks later, an attempted arson attack on my front door. Someone wearing a mask and a hoodie lit a Mazel Tov cocktail and threw it into the front door's welcome mat. And if it wasn't for my apartment's fire sprinklers actually working, my apartment would have burned down with me in it, because I wasn't. Wow, this has become insane. This is actually becoming the craziest story. I wasn't jumping from the third floor balcony. That was a more serious crime. Cops were very interested in solving it, but again, no usable prints, faces covered in the cameras, etc. Then it was quiet for a month. My ex had reached out to me and that she had heard about the fires, and I told her I effing knew it was her brother, but I didn't have any proof. She said that she said that she'd say something to him, but coincidentally nothing happened for a while, until I guess cops came around asking to talk to him because I obviously gave them his name as a person of interest. In the month, and some charges since our spat, she basically forced him to find some kind of work, or she was going to kick him out. So he had gotten a part-time job at a auto shop in the town that had a rep for being one of those don't go to but fine to recommend to someone you hate. They cut corners everywhere they could, so it was a perfect job for that effing weasel. At least until the cops came looking for him one day about that fire. The owners didn't have like having cops around the employees, so since he had only been there for a week or two, he got the boot. He deeply appreciated that. So one night I came home from work, and I had stopped at the gym on the way, worked up a good sweat, and had gotten a bite to eat from the grocery store. I pulled into my spot into the Enterprise rental. My car was still in the shop, and walked into my apartment. Real quick, while I was 21, I legally owned pews and had a concealed carry permit on days where I was on base, and I did not carry carry my pew pew. It's incredibly rare for anyone whose explicit job description doesn't include carries a pew pew at all times to be allowed to carry a pew pew on base. Since I'm not leaving a pew pew on my car and there wasn't any place to securely store a pew pew while I was working, I was opted to not take my pew pew with me. It's also why I did not have my pew pew on the morning it jumped me. He jumped you? I was unarmed. I lived on the 3rd floor. There was the 4th floor above me and stairs leading to it. I heard footsteps coming down the stairs fast, and I turned to see 4 guys in hoods, masked and wearing gloves, and coming towards me. My door was open, so I dropped my groceries and slammed the door behind me. They got a foot in and managed to wedge through my apartment. What followed took place, dude. These guys could have gotten like unalived if you had it, you know. What followed took place during a period about 14 seconds. The neighbors crossed the way after the fire, got a security camera installed inside their door as well, so we know the actual timestamps down to seconds. I kept a loaded pew pew tucked in my closet near my foot door. Irresponsible, I know, but I was younger and more naive than I am now. In the scuffle with the first guy who came through the door, I managed to reach my hand in the closet to find the pew pew and push myself back and give us several feet of space. I remembered very vividly seeing all 4 men in my doorway in my hallway. The first guy I had just pushed had been body blocked from falling backwards and was starting to come towards me the second time. I raised my pew pew. This one was a SIG P226, chambered in a .40 Smith & Wesson. And just as I heard one of them shout, "Pew pew," I started lining up, shots and pulled the. Pulling the trig. Wow. There was no limb shots, no shooting to scare them. I didn't try to wing them. Body, head. As I was trained and I had been taught. No way. What? The first guy went down. The second guy caught 2 of the through and throughs from the first guy before I plugged him in the forehead. What? The third guy stopped dead in his tracks before catching 4 center of mass. And the 4th guy was halfway out of the door before I emptied the rest of the mag. This is all in Minecraft, by the way, YouTube. This is all in the Minecraft. And whatever I could see and aim at. You might be thinking, oops, that 4th guy was running away. That's M-word. You're an M-word. Well, the cops didn't see it that way, and the investigators didn't charge it that way because he actually lived. Now, the first 3 recipients of my high-velocity sleeping pills didn't. The first guy's, wow. We'll say parts were all over the second guy, and the second guy's parts were all over my wall. Wow, that is insane. This is all on Minecraft, YouTube. The third guy's, wow, I'm just going to not say that. We can just, okay. The 4th guy was, the guy who lived. The man who lived was my ex's brother, quote unquote. Wow. Of the 3 pew pew ammunitions that hit him, 1 grazed his booty, and the other thoroughly lodged itself inside his right booty cheek. And the 3rd one hit him square in the spinal cord, right around the kidney area, shattered his spine, and completely destroyed his lucrative career in competitive breakdancing and bike sling. Oh, wow. He was paralyzed from the navel down. Had he have a permanent catheter or whatever to catch his piss, he had to have a permanent thing to catch his piss and a diaper for what is now the most useful byproduct of what he was capable of producing. He'd never walk again. He'd never F again. And when he was healthy enough to be discharged from the hospital, he was locked up to prison, given 3 manslaughter charges since he caught the rap for his 3 buddies getting unalived. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that's how the legal system worked in terms of that, because it is true. He convinced his friends to be in that situation. Wow. He was also charged with conspiracy to commit M-word, A-word, and battery. And he was caught, he even caught the reckless endangerment charges for me discharging my firearm in an apartment complex with other apartments across the hallway from the open door I was shooting out towards. Dude, what? Wow. He was never going to breathe free air again. I would like to say that this ended up being happily ever after as she took me back. Oh, hell yeah. That we got married and I adopted her little one and we had a couple of spare ones of our own. But she didn't. Within 24 hours, she declared, oh, snap. I would like to say that this ended up happy ever after. Oh, damn it. But she didn't. Within 24 hours, she declared that she was scared of me. Oh, that she did not want me. Well, that makes sense. Anywhere near her child, and she'd call. Dang, that sucks. Call the police on me if she ever saw me again in her place of work. That sucks. Which sucked. I like that target. She called me an M-word. She accused me of blah, 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 blah. And she ignored the arson and vandalism and various threats he'd thrown at me. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy that she took his side in all of this after all of that. I never saw her again. She blocked me on everything. Her family blocked me. She changed her number. She transferred to a different target. And after a couple of months, she moved to a different apartment in a different town. It had been 8 years since the shooting, and I still haven't heard from her. I know she's alive. Friends of friends informed me that she got married in 2020 and had a second kid and is happy, so more power to her. I never got the happy ending. My white picket fence, believe it or not, unalived 3 guys, and even for a person trained in war and conditioning, that the possibility one day that he might not have to do it F's with your head. Especially when you consider it happened to in your home and not in any other place. There's a huge mental and emotional disconnect for difference between blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm going to fast forward a little bit because, he had PTSD. I couldn't touch any pew-pews ever since, blah, blah, blah. 8 years since then, I retired. I'm now working in a private sector. I have my own LLC. Oh, so he's doing good. Life's good. But you know what really warmed my heart? Just the other day, I Googled a Google alert I set up for 8 years triggered. It was Skidmark McDipshit's first and last name following the word obituary. It turns out somebody in prison got sick and tired of that white boy in a wheelchair, and, that happened. Wow. So, yeah, sorry for the effing novel, but I didn't feel like leaving out any of the details that mattered. I hope you enjoyed my story. Wow. What a story. What the hell did we even just read, guys? Sorry that was long. I was committed to the bit. What the hell? That's the last one I'm reading. We're 2 hours in. Oh my God. All right. For the rest of this, we're going to read chat and just talk because that was intense. Oh my God. I can't believe we read that. Oh my goodness. It had been like 10. Okay. Let me go up. Passing papers. You came in midway through the story. Hell yeah. Okay. Shiver me timbers, but that's fine enough. Wow, I'm sorry. That was really long, guys. Pew pew has been said so many times. Yeah, I had to be careful. It's better than if Loon said goons. I didn't get how I feel about this. Yeah, that was insane. I didn't like anything in that story. Like, I didn't like anyone. The girl sucked. The guy really sucked. Not the OP, the other guy, the fucking homeless dude. And then the OP kind of sucked. I mean, he was defending himself. So, like, I get it. Actually, I don't want to say he sucked. He wasn't a saint, is what I'll say. That's how I'll leave it. Because if I'm getting my ass jumped and stuff, like, I would defend myself too. If I'm being honest, like, I would have to. Like, if someone's going in, like, I live alone with 2 cats. Like, I don't know what else I could do. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, that was just a crazy, what the hell? I missed the beginning of this, but this guy sounds like he was in the military and lived on base, I assume. He did live on base originally, but by the time that stuff happened, he was living in an apartment. Yeah, wow, what the hell? Hi, Victoria. Hi, Past Papers. I think this is the craziest story from this was... I think the craziest story from this was some guy legit destroying an entire town. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, this whole subreddit is insane. What the hell? I am open-minded, ADHD. Oh, I'm fluid like a baby. Yeah, what the hell? I have no context to this. What did bro get involved in this? Yeah, that was a crazy freaking story. Man, that's why you don't jump people. Yeah, the obituary alert was fucking nuts. Hi, Anna. Good to see you're here. Sora and Cloud would be mind controlling Loon to fight. I am not a fighter, guys. I am not at all. I used to write up incident report, operational reports like this involving military personnel, and there were some crazy stories. Yeah, dude, military people, especially the someones that have seen action and stuff, man, they are no freaking joke, man. Yeah. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna end the stream in like 5-ish minutes. So, yeah, you guys, let me know what's been going on in your lives. Just let me know, or anything that you guys want me to talk about before I end this up. Y'all just let me know. I hope you guys are doing great, by the way. This was a crazy one. We read kind of like some pretty wacky stories to literally unaliving stories. Military dudes scare me so badly. Yeah, I totally understand why, Wiley. They get a very interesting reputation, and for very good reason. Like, there's the stereotype that they'll cheat on you. I'm not saying that all guys will, but there is a stereotype behind it. And that they are also A-word stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I know some military guys that are actually very chill. Actually, one of my best friends was in the Navy. And I know some military guys that are not very chill. Yeah, some heinous guys. I tried sushi today, but it was store-bought, so I need to try. Oh, Victoria, if this is your first time trying sushi, you should try sushi, like good sushi. Like, I love sushi. Sushi's the fucking best, dude. You need to go to some like quality restaurants. Just look at reviews, see what's popping. I recommend any roll with eel. That's my favorite. I'm a big eel guy. White tuna's really good. Mackerel's really good. Yellowtail's really good. Those are probably my favorites. But salmon is a classic. I think salmon's good intro sushi. Anybody can like it. It's pretty like basic. I singled myself out here. I'm a Navy vet. Oh, cool. Thank you for service, Pass the Papers. I don't really like it, but I got a couple of types, so I'm going to... Yeah, go to a different place and then try it out. I think it's going to be a lot different. And if you don't like raw sushi, there's also cooked sushi that you might like as well. That's a whole thing, too. Tell us, Top Girl. What is fragging? Wiley, what's fragging? There's a store near me that actually makes it in store that's good every day. Oh, wow. If a store makes it good, that's quality. I've only seen a few that's ever done that, like grocery store wise. Usually grocery store sushi is kind of mid. But yeah, I'm gonna wait for Wiley's thing. What is fragging? Is that a thing? Okay, let's look this up. What? Wait, are we talking about military term? Is the act of a soldier unaliving or attempting to unalive a fellow soldier, often a superior officer, using a fragmentation? What? That is actually crazy. Hi, Amaya. Aw, Victoria, I appreciate it. Taco Mouse says there's a huge traveling Asian food festival coming to the Mall of America next weekend. I can't wait to try all the many. Oh, what festival is it? If it's the same one I'm thinking of, it came to North Carolina not too long ago in Charlotte or in Raleigh. Publix does. I did hear Publix has some quality sushi. I haven't had it though. Oh, I'm reading your. Wiley said there's hundreds and thousands of cases of army men that blew each other. Wow, that's crazy. That's so messed up. Martin's? What's Martin's? Housemate has a work benefit that gets free sushi a week and he shares a heck. Oh, that's awesome. I'm good, Amaya. I hope you're doing well as well. I'm actually closing up this stream, so I'm getting ready to cook dinner. I need a shower and cook. But yeah, this probably is a Northern brand. Anyways, I love you guys so much. It looks like next stream. By the way, before I close it up, if you haven't voted yet on what you guys want to see in the next stream, go ahead and vote it. Wegmans, I heard, was good. I don't have Wegmans here. I'm cooking tonight. I'm cooking healthy food, so I'm just cooking some chicken breast sliced up. I'm probably going to make some edamame. Huge fan of edamame, like salted edamame. I'm eating frozen fruits, protein smoothie, nothing crazy, just healthy stuff today. So I'm not cooking anything crazy. I am cooking someone else that's coming over for dinner. I'm cooking them like, it's like fried cheese curds with fried chicken nuggets. Arch, Subnautica, I feel like Subnautica will eventually make a comeback. Don't worry. Yeah, so it seems like number one is r/made you smile. So we're going to do r/made you smile in the next stream. Stardew Valley is second, so maybe that will get it at some point. Oh, mac and cheese with hot dog slices sounds so good. So we're going to do r/made you smile. I'm not guaranteed on when I'll stream. My friend's coming to town, and I think they're staying at my house tomorrow, so I don't think I can stream. I might not even be able to upload a YouTube video, but we'll see. And then 4th of July, I have people coming over, so I probably won't stream. I might film a YouTube video. I'm going to do my best to still have content for you guys, but guaranteed I will stream by Sunday. So if I don't stream tomorrow or Friday, then guaranteed you will have something Saturday or Sunday. You guys, if you guys want to stay tuned on all my stream updates, there is a Discord. It's the link in the description box. Also the link that I posted in the chats. I love you guys so much. I hope everybody has a wonderful night, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm going to say bye to everybody. Bye, guys. Hope you guys have a good one. Yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next stream. Bye.